There is a very particular thing I've noticed amongst people who are attempting to get into artwork. Um, there are generally kind of like a certain number of people who you can kind of notice are not really in it for essentially the pursuit of trying to get into art to express or showcase something they want to. And then there are people like this particular person I recently saw on Twitter this morning, where just because they are not getting any attention or their work is not like in as many places as possible, that they just view it as like, oh, screw this. There's no reason for me to even remotely produce art because people aren't looking at it. And while that can be valid in the frustrations in trying to find your own niche and pursue your art to try and find it to a goal or like have a group of people view it. That should never be the ultimate pursuit of what you want for your art. As an artist and as someone who generally has had to do a bunch of stupid shit to just survive recently with turning my own art into money making bullshit. Um, the pursuit of art as purely an attention thing is not the way to go. If you are only wanting to get into art to basically have the like, oh yes, I'm artiste, I'm so fucking better than everyone else. Oh, look at my glorious rhinestoned nuts. You're never going to get anywhere going. And if you kind of have that mindset, you will never really truly improve or really make headway in trying to get where you want because it will never be enough. The pursuit of like, there will never be enough people following you, there will never be enough people liking your stuff. What you need to be doing, and what I would say to this person who I saw this comic they made about basically giving up on art because like, oh hey, people aren't looking at it. I don't think they're actually giving up. I think it's just being hyperbolic and they're trying to be like shifting the blame instead of like them building up their own kind of niche, trying to find people who want to pursue and watch your stuff because it is a thing you specifically made. Your art specifically reaches those people. That is what you need to pursue. You need to find a group of people, be it just some rando, a small group, a big group, it does not matter, who resonate with something that you specifically want to tell. You want to express into the world to create something. Art shouldn't be this massive commodity. It shouldn't be something that you get into to make money. It should be like a benefit to you pursuing it. The following should be a like additional thing you get for attempting to go into it. And now that's not to say that you should pursue money or attempt to monetize things. Trust me, I know. I have been working as a commission artist for the past 2 years and went to college. So like I know what you gotta do to pay off your bills and like payments and shit. And that is not wrong. You should attempt to try and figure out a way to make your pursuit pay for itself so you can pursue that more. And I think anyone who says, oh, artists shouldn't be paid for their work is a piece of shit who needs to be kicked in the balls. Because fuck you, this shit takes time and we got stuff to do. And also the hellscape of capitalism and etc. etc. But just attempting to go for something purely for attention is, well, beyond the fact that it's extremely shallow and it makes you look like, I don't know, some jackass, you will never really, because your focus will not ever be about improving your art and creating a message or some sort of thing. And sometimes that message can be like super simple or complicated nonsense because that's art. Art is meant to be either some very easy to digest thing that is like okay and pretty easy to discern to like esoteric nonsense that like takes you months or like a whole day to try and parse out what you personally perceive one artist's work to be and then discussing that with other interpretations. Art doesn't need to be as complicated or not, but what you need to pursue instead of attempting to go for a like just look at me, I'm so great, I draw X. You need to just pursue creating something that you feel is worth it. You specifically will feel proud of doing. Like literally just yesterday actually, I now I have some free time because I'm taking a small break kind of from doing commissions so much. I just went back and trying to finish this one piece that I wanted to do some painting stuff for. Is it the piece I wanted to have be made? No, but I wanted it to be done, and I wanted it to basically have that thing completed to a degree because I was tired of it just sitting around uncompleted because of my pursuit of my job, the money aspect of making art, taking away from the I want to make a cool picture that is this crazy cyborg Baphomet looking HR Giger nonsense. Is it what I wanted it to be when I first started off and sketched out? No. But I also feel happy that I went in and I was just like, screw it, I want to complete this image and I want to make more of this. I want to then try to pursue another image like this or using the same figure. And eventually I'll go back and make another one of these that is probably to the original idea. Do I feel that like I'm disappointed that it's not the thing? A little bit. But I also generally am happy that I have this image now completed and I can show it off to my friends and be like, dudes, look at this cool thing I did. And talk about like the ideas going into it and the process of like that was making it and how that was fun, coming up with this idea. Because I think that is, if you want to be an artist, that is how you need to build your mentality. It's not about making something to make like a profit or making it to be a thing people just go out of just for the attention. It's like, I want to make something that is like this. I want to be inspired by this. And maybe it grabs people's attentions, maybe it's not, but as long as you personally feel that you either improved upon something or you just were able to finish this concept or idea, that is where you need to go. That is where you need to have your mindset going into trying to pursue art as either just a thing you want to do or as a career and whatnot. And that doesn't say you should do like the businessy things, like you need to find like how to do certain things and whatnot. Marketing and attempting to create like a network with either other artists or people who like have a similar interest or pursuit, or finding people who do the same material, be it sculpture, comics, 3D modeling, any sort of art like that should apply to, because like if you want to maybe either pursue it outside of a personal passion and try to maybe get it into a gallery or showcase it in some form, pursuing a thing like that is good because it's you're just wanting to show off like and be like, yeah, look at this cool thing I did, and like trying to speak to people. And that can be frustrating when things don't pop off a whole lot. But I think that is part of the process of trying to get stuff. You can't just instantly get super gratification. You have to work for something in the same way that you have to work for your skills. And in the modern world, it is extremely frustrating. I get that. But the pursuit and attempt to try and build it is just part of what you have to do if you want it to be showcased. Like, because you can just show something to your friends, your family, and you can get the same reaction, and then maybe share it around. But pursuing art at its core should be something that you personally, as a person, want to express. And then getting that expression out into the world will be the second most difficult part outside of creating the image or work or piece or whatever thing, be it whatever medium you're working with. Like that will be the secondary kind of means to get to that. And that is difficult. It is hard. And trust me, like as a person who has been pursuing and doing art, the confines of what gets shown and what does not is frustrating. I have a bunch of artwork that I really, really wanted more people to look at and hasn't really taken off, but I still create it because of it compared to like my more erotic pieces or things I do for commissions. Those are more pursued in the sense of like, oh, I enjoy drawing these things, but I also am kind of deliberately looking at it as a working thing. It's like, here's some horny nonsense that someone will get onto, and then like I can transmute that into a your character here and make X number I need to a month, and then do other commissions, and they'll draw more people in. And that also goes into, I think, how you at some point you need to figure out how to track the things you learn from either pursuing it as like money means or attempting to do whatever you need to, or at least just looking at that and trying to figure out how did this person get this following, or how did they get people to look at it, or like what is these things that allow them to get an audience, not necessarily in the pursuit of attention, but how to essentially find more ways to showcase this thing you made, um, to a group of people that you think actually will care about it, and not just I made something, therefore it deserves attention. It is how can I express, like just furthering the goal of expressing yourself into the world and trying to speak to others. Like that. That is basically what I am trying to convey with this whole little video shenanigan and whatnot. So yeah, I hope that all kind of makes sense, and I hope if you listen to me ramble on about how you shouldn't be an attention artist, you should be an artist first. You should be a person wanting to express yourself. You should want to put out like, here's my cool, edgy, like berserk inspired fantasy when you're 14 is still as valid as like, here's my moody, like painting about like having trauma or just expressing sadness. And though all these types of things are valid, and you should attempt to put them out there and express yourself, but never purely for attention. It should always be a thing that you want to be. You want it to exist purely because you want it to exist, not for the sake of others. That is the most important thing. You should be this particular person that wants to develop your skills, develop your means, develop your audience, not for the sake of the audience, but for the sake of creating a thing you want to pursue. That that is that is the thesis statement of my whole thought process and trying to speak into the thing. So yeah, that was a bit of rambling. Hope y'all liked it. Hopefully the audio in this one will be better than the Kamen Rider Black Sun video. I'm doing a different thing to see how that records. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed me rambling about some artsy fartsy nonsense from the twatters I did today. You could probably find me replying to the thing that I'm actually speaking on and whatnot. I don't know if I'll put it in the video because I don't know if basically dunking on this dude to be more dickish or not. But I also got a little cynical and think the guy is kind of, yeah. But also I understand the frustration, so it's one of those hard things per se. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble about this stuff. And if you want to see more of these things, I'm gonna try and pop out a couple of these every once in a while. So you can just subscribble down there, and then I will be trying to do like more edited, fancy dancy videos, hopefully with like motions and things later on down the road, as well as there's gonna be some live stream stuff. Um, so yeah, I hope you enjoy these things, and subscribe, comments, do all the YouTube stuff that you're supposed to do. I don't know.